You're listening to the sounds of Latino Radio de Caracas, Venezuela. ¿Qué pasa contigo esta noche? Yo tengo dos bonitas mujeres para tu entertainment. Gracias para tu mirar mi video. El Juanito de Filax es mucho bueno. También el Jaime Mclynas para sheriff de Pinellas County. Gracias para tu escuchar de Caracas FM, Venezuela, Latino Radio. Hey, that's pretty good for, I hope I didn't lose. Yeah, did I get that? Are we rolling, Jimmy? Are we rolling, Jimmy? Yes. Hi, everyone. It's pretty good improvisation, if I do say so myself. My name is Ricardo Estevez Martinez Eduardo. Coming to you live from Caracas FM, Venezuela, where we have the finest beaches. Okay. I don't know what that intro has to do with any of this video, but we all went out and did a mass audit yesterday. James Mclynas, the gentleman who's run twice now for Pinellas County Sheriff, the only freedom-minded candidate Pinellas County has seen in decades, got outvoted this year by basically 1.7% of the population. Less than 10,000 people, I think. Shame, shame, shame. Anyway, he was with us yesterday. He was kind enough to come with us, and he did this video, so I'm covering his video. YouTube, I absolutely, positively have permission to use all of James Mclynas' videos and vice versa. So lay off the orange $sign, all right, player? All right, here we go. I'm going to be interrupting. If you don't want to hear me and you just want to watch this video, go to James Mclynas for Pinellas County Sheriff YouTube page and watch it for yourself. Did I mention I'll be pausing? So seven of us were out auditing. I announced a mass audit on District 3. This is the first place we went. That angelic voice you hear in the background is me. We're gonna be friends. So this is a little intro I made yesterday. So there's me, Eyes on the State, Ybor City Rob, The Watchman, and Jack Brady. James came with us, and Grumpy. Grumpy came with us too.
Hey man, Black Lives Matter or all lives? No, yeah, well, sure could.
I got video of this guy too. Good video.
You didn't act like a moron over there. What is it about the cops that make you guys act like
Another police car sitting here, running. Not only that, he's parked in a handicap spot. Isn't that lovely? There's a police officer hiding behind his tent while he parks in a handicap spot. This is the double standard.
Meanwhile, they'll take your car from you if you have tint in some situations.
He said he's code enforcement officer, J. Lavandera, executive manager, code enforcement. That's what that says. Lavandera, J. Executive manager, code enforcement. I wonder if it's a code violation to park in a handicap spot.
Behind.
Oh my God, have I been exposed? Oh my God, you know, do I have this? Do I not? So for us to meet them and then put that down to rent.
I don't know. Let's go ask a police officer. You're a police officer, right? So why are you allowing that guy to park in a handicapped parking spot when he's not handicapped? He's a code enforcement officer. So this is part of what a lot of us get angry about, the double standard. The fact that you guys never hold each other accountable, that you guys think that the law doesn't apply to you. Here's a perfect example. We've got Mr. Ferguson from the Tampa Police Department sitting here watching someone park in a handicapped parking spot and not taking any action whatsoever because that gentleman sitting in the car is a code enforcement officer. He's not even a real police officer, but I guess he still gets the, what do they call that? The courtesy? The professional courtesy? So does that extend from police to code enforcement officers as well? Because if not, you should ask him to move his car. That would be the correct thing to do. That would be the thing that the people would hope you would do, because that's supposed to be your job, right? You're here enforcing the laws in the parking lot. Isn't that why you were paid to be here?
Right.
Then why don't you do your job and enforce the law against that gentleman over there and ask him to move? There's several parking spots down there that are not handicapped. But you won't do it, will you, Mr. Ferguson? You won't go against anybody that even has a fake badge for code enforcement, will you? When you swore an oath to be an officer here in Florida, you swore an oath where you said that you would uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States and the government of the United States and the state of Florida. So basically, you're just a bodyguard for the government, aren't you? And the fact that you won't go and enforce the handicap parking spot law there pretty much proves it. You defend government rather than hold them accountable. And this is why people don't like what's going on with the police industry today. Because you would rather sit there and play with a parking cone, tap your fingers, rather than enforce the law against somebody clearly breaking the law less than 40 feet away from you. This is why you don't have a lot of respect. This is why there are protests all over the country. It's the unjust application of the law, or the just us U.S. system, just you guys. So why don't you prove me wrong and prove all the people that dislike police officers wrong and just walk over to the guy's car and ask him to move his car? You don't have to write him a citation. You'd rather play with the cone? Yeah, you'd rather play with the cone. So there you have it. Mr. Ferguson would rather play with the cone rather than do his job.
Does kind of look like one of the cone heads.
And enforce the handicap violation of the code enforcement officer sitting in his government-owned vehicle, running, using up taxpayer-paid gasoline, so you can hear it running, parked in a handicapped parking spot. While the officer sits there and watches him do it while he plays with his cone. CPU K13.
play with my cone, would you, Jimmy? Because here's a Jimmy joke about your jammer that you might not like. I heard she liked to play with cones too because she's a Frisco.
Clearly parked in the handicap spot. Clearly you can see his name on the shirt in the background. And clearly you see the Tampa Police Department doing absolutely nothing. Still playing with his cone, not enforcing the law. You're going to be famous on this for YouTube, you know that, right? He knows it. So, last chance, still going to not do the right thing and just walk over and ask him to move his car? Still not going to do the right thing, are you? Nope, you're not. That's why people don't like police anymore. That's why you don't have any honor. That's why there's no heroes in your industry. Because you can't even be enough hero to ask a fully able-bodied man to move out of a parking spot because of the costume he has on. And that makes you pretty pathetic. Hope you can live with that, because apparently it doesn't seem to bother you. Which is, again, another reason why we have a problem with police, because nothing seems to bother you people. There goes the park ranger, even though we're not in a park, and Mr. Ferguson, who won't do his job even though he's asked. We're going to be filing a complaint on you. Not doing your job. Then we'll make a public records request for the complaint detail to see what you had to say about your conduct here today. Then we'll add it to the video. Then we'll put it online and make you famous. Wait, don't forget there's your cone you like to play with. There it is, grab it, play with it, fondle it. You like doing that, rather than enforce the law. Are you his supervisor?
I'm one of the supervisors.
I'd like to file a complaint against him.
For what?
There was a gentleman that was parked in that handicapped parking spot over there, sitting there for a long time, maybe at least an hour. I pointed that out to Mr. Ferguson, that there was a man sitting in that handicapped parking spot right over there. He refused to even walk over and tell him to move.
Which one is that?
Which one is what?
Which parking space are we talking about?
You have two handicapped parking spots this side of the island. It was the one to the right in the center aisle. And the gentleman was clearly sitting there in violation of the handicap parking laws. I asked Mr. Ferguson multiple times to either issue him a citation or at least ask him to move, and he simply refused to do it.
Hugo Boss Boots. Subject move now?
Yeah, it's the white car. It's the white...
Hugo Boss Boots. Hugo Boss, or Boss, the clothing brand, was the guy who made the uniforms for the Nazi soldiers. So every time I see them giant leather boots, I think of Hugo Boss and the Nazis.
Ford Explorer that looks like a police vehicle that actually is a code enforcement supervisor here at this building. And according to the other officer over there, Mr. Ward, is it? Jay Ward?
Okay.
According to Mr. Ward, he was sitting inside that car enjoying that car's air conditioning.
Right there, he kept trying to back up, trying to get us behind us, and we just kept backing up and stayed behind him.
Which is why they didn't ask him to move. And the person that owns that car is a code enforcement supervisor. And I found it very disrespectful that this man's following us all around here in the parking lot like we're criminals. And then when you point out an activity that's clearly a violation of the law, he sat there and he played with one of those little orange cones. And he literally refused. Are you going to go do something about that? He could just shake his head, nope. And I said, he's parked in a handicapped parking spot. You're not even going to walk the 20 or 30 feet and ask the man to move? And he said no.
The parking lot's not open to the public right now.
It doesn't matter.
The county code enforcement was parked there. It's not currently open to the public.
Cops splaining.
People are coming in here for their testing.
They're going to come in, they're going to come in, they're going to get their testing.
You say it's not open to the public, but people are still parked there.
How's it going?
If the parking lot's full of people.
Parking in that parking space right now?
I'm sorry. See, but you see, the whole parking lot is full.
I haven't seen anybody public parking in the parking spaces since.
Compact?
This has been going on.
So you know who owns all those cars. So you're going to defend the conduct. Instead of doing something about it, you're going to defend it.
That's not what I'm saying.
But that's the direction you're heading in immediately.
Exactly.
It's exactly where you're going.
That's what I'm saying. It's not currently open to the public.
See, now you're making excuses for the officer.
How did this all start out here?
We came to exercise our First Amendment and we got accosted by gunmen.
Wait, before you go into that, I'm filing
Accosted.
a complaint against this man. I'm asking you, what are you going to do about it?
Okay. I'll take your name and information now. I'll get with my supervisor.
You don't need to take my name and information. He's sitting right there. Ask him.
He's right there, guys.
Ask him if he did it. I have it on video. I can send you the video.
What do you want me to ask him?
If he refused to have the person move or issue a citation for parking in the handicap.
That's something that I'll talk to him about. Me and you are finished with our conversation.
Why is that?
Yes.
Why is that?
Why is that?
He's saying that you're saying that he refused to get the car to move.
Yes.
Well, the car moved now. I mean, did he go up and ask the guy to move?
No, he didn't.
Again, the same thing the other cop tries to do to me, you'll see in part 2 or whatever part it's in. Dude attempted to stop us from moving forward onto the property we were allowed to be on. And I kept saying he attempted to stop us. He goes, well, you're here now. Well, you're here now. I go, that's like saying someone attempted to murder me. But he didn't kill you, right? So you're good then? You're good?
I had to get his supervisor, Mr. Ward, to ask him. And Mr. Ward walked over there and moved it because he refused to.
Now, why are you smirking? You look like a little kid when you're smirking like that.
And that's part of the problem.
He looks like Gomer Pyle from Full Metal Jacket when he's smirking and about to kill everybody.
That the community has
Or kill himself, rather.
with the police industry is that you refuse to enforce the laws on yourselves, but you over-enforce the laws on everybody else. It was a clear violation. Now, the person that was sitting in the car, I have his name too, and he's still sitting in the car over there. You can call him, you can walk over there and talk to him if you actually want to investigate what this man did. And if you want to see it, I have it on video, but you sit there
All right,
as
if
his
I take the complaint, I'm going to need your information so I can follow
Oh, here we go with that crap.
up on it.
What? People, I don't need you to follow up with me. I'll do a public records request to see what you did. I'll do a public records request for your investigation
We'll follow up with you.
to see how you conducted it. You don't need to call me and tell me what you did. Do what you need to do with him.
Usually when citizens file a complaint,
We don't care what usually happens. We're going to run the government our way because it's the government of, by, and for the people.
okay, there's a tracking. It's done through sometimes internal affairs, sometimes they call the supervisor directly. If you want me to follow up on this, get your information.
Do you have a card? I'll send you the video. In fact, I'll post it on YouTube and send you the link. And you'll be on it as well.
Okay.
But the point is, you sit here, and that's an intimidation tactic that
No,
the police
you
use.
want-
You tell us who you are. You tell us who you are.
Truth, facts.
If you want to file a complaint,
He's standing
I can
right
take the
there.
information and I can
I just filed the complaint.
Anonymous complaint?
I just filed it. I just told you what the complaint was.
Well, be able to file an anonymous evidently, you complained to a supervisor who was out here, or another officer was out here, and the problem was remedied.
I complained at the fact to the supervisor that he wouldn't do it, and was he going to take any action? He took the action. That was not a complaint against this officer right
So
here.
the problem was resolved.
No, the problem is not resolved because the officer still refused to uphold the law. That's my point. And you're sitting here as his supervisor making excuse for the conduct.
I'm not making excuses.
Oh, the parking lot's closed. He's a worker here.
Apparently it's closed to the public. Look,
It doesn't
here's
matter.
the thing, if you guys want to film, I'd ask you to remain on the edge of the property, not through the parking lot, so we can get people here that are legit.
James's camera makes me look super slim, man. James, man, that camera, man, I need to get one of them. Everyone in the whole world has to use this camera from now on. End of story. Now he's going to try to cop-splain a directive to us. And I'm going to be like, no.
Minimally getting a test to cycle through.
We're not allowed on the property?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm asking you for your own safety for
We don't
traffic.
we don't take requests.
Asking for your own safety as people move
We
through.
don't take requests.
Go through.
Do you have a card so that I can follow up? I'll send you the video. Thank you.
Is this District 3? Are you part of District 3? No? What district are you out of? Grumpy. Yes. How you liking your first audit? Huh?
We got this guy over here, he's telling us we're gonna have to stay on the edge on the sidewalk. This guy really don't want us to leave.
Love it, don't you? You need to come to my house and I'll make you a ring, brother. I tell you to put my address in your phone, but it don't say that you don't work that thing too well. You're not a phone guy. Once it came off the wall, that was it.
That's what they do to try and make it look like an undercover vehicle so you can't tell it's a police officer. They put a regular tag on it.
I'm glad you joined us, sir. I'm glad you did too. Yeah. See, this is how it should be. We hang out, we talk to the cops, but no, they gotta act stupid. No matter what, they gotta act stupid. Uh-oh, we got some more brands. It's like they're trained to act stupid.
So now he's leaning on his car, his boss's car, hands in pockets, still disrespectful, while his officer is supposedly getting a business card, but it sure is taking him a long time. So that I can continue to process my complaint against Mr. Ferguson for not doing his job. As Mr. Ferguson just glares at me through the dark sunglasses, anger welling up inside of him, knowing that he can't take any action. But boy, if that guy didn't have a camera, if it was dark, if my boss wasn't here, I'd sure show him. That's how it works.
I need to go, man. Right here, it's not a motorcycle. It's been out.
What is your badge number you're required to identify?
600 Ferguson.
600 even, 600? Thank you.
What I did is I took the trespass on purpose because you're not gonna tell me to leave, I'll leave.
I have a business card. I had some with me.
I appreciate you writing it down.
Information there.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time.
Vehicle was moved. I talked to Detective Ferguson about the incident.
I appreciate that. Would you also do me the courtesy of walking over there and identifying who it was that parked? I have his name, and he's got a shirt hanging in his back window, so I already have his name. But for your report, I'd like you to at least have him confirm the white Ford Expedition looks like a cop car. Just confirm that he was parked in the parking spot illegally.
So, I think he does say, I need to let this play because he does give Ferguson a nice closing message, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I thought he was still sitting in there. He must have got out and went inside.
He's one of the managers out here.
It is, yes. Mr. Lavin Sager or something like that.
Area?
Yeah. And the problem that I had was that the man was parked right here, and your officer was standing right by those three cones, and I walked over and I asked him to just take some type of action for parking in the handicap. He just shook his head no. So I said, you don't have to write him a citation, but can you at least walk across the way to ask him to move? And he, no. You're not even going, you see the violation of the law. And this is what gets people like myself upset, because the police have a tendency to not enforce the laws against each other, but they hyper-enforce things against certain people. And that's what is disturbing. The law should apply to all of us. The Constitution should apply to all of us. Everything should apply to all of us equally. Equal protection under the law. It's in the Constitution.
I understand.
Thank you for taking the time. Appreciate it.
And there you go, everybody. There it is. There's everything. There it is, everybody. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to James Mclynas for Pinellas County Sheriff. Please subscribe to John Filax. That's me. Please hit up my Etsy store and buy a beautiful silver ring. I just got a check in the mail for $2,500. I'm pretty sure it's a scam. Something about wrapping my vehicle in Monster Energy drink ads. And they'll pay me $500 a week, which I'll absolutely do if it's legitimate. But the check looks good. And, yeah, I don't know what to do. I've never been so scared of a check in my life. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Peace, tranquilities. Please subscribe, like, click the bell, and then click a bell again for notifications. Have a good day. Peace and tranquility. Bye.